Yeah, okay, we are live on Facebook now. Yeah, good morning, everybody. Today, in the series of alumni talks, we have V. Sandeep. He had been a passed out of 2013 from ECE department of our college, and as soon as he has finished his BTech, he has joined IIT for his dual degree, MTech plus PhD, and he finished his PhD at computer science and with computational attention modeling on web pages as his PhD work. And now he is working as an assistant professor at BITS Bilani, Hyderabad. Over to you, Sandeep.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Uh, Good morning, everyone. Today I'll be sharing my experience, like my educational background and my experience at CMRTC, and as well as my experience at IIT Guwahati and the new recent role, that is the assistant professor. So during the talk, feel free to stop me at any point of time and ask your queries. Okay. So yeah, to start with, up to 10th class, I have done in Telugu medium. So from government school. After that, took MPC in intermediate. That is trivial for engineering, right? So yeah, after that intermediate, I took ECE in CMRTC in 2009. So yeah, though it was the first college and we were the first batch, we were pretty impressed with the infrastructure. The infrastructure is pretty new, and especially faculties were quite helpful. Still, I remember my first English orientation from Kasinath sir. Of course, being from the Telugu medium background, I was always nervous. So in the first year itself, he used to conduct certain events like introduce yourself, coming onto the dais. Those things induced some kind of confidence in me. Okay. Then, as you know, BTech first year is a year-oriented program. After that, we will have a semester system, right? It was pretty long. We have sufficient time to do everything. It was fine. Yeah, we have done with the exams. Percentage was good. Then, I mean, to get back, in my intermediate, I took JEE coaching, which I couldn't clear. Because of that, it was always there in my mind that somehow I should get into IIT. That was always there. Of course, I was quite disappointed at that age, at plus two level. But after coming into BTech, my mind was always there on this IIT. Then I came to know about this GATE exam. Then, so after that, we entered second year, BTech second year. That was surprising. Like it was going at very fast pace because it is a semester system. Everything gets concluded in 4 to 5 months, and because of that, little bit struggle was there. But then I observed the pattern in the JNT system. So of course, if some of you are in third year or fourth year, even in second year, you might have understood a pattern on how to write JNT exams, right? So there should be good description should be there, beautiful diagram should be there, and everything should be cohesive, right? But that uh, then when I observe some sample like gate papers, the pattern is quite different. Like it is more of a analytical than a descriptive. Slowly, I started orienting myself towards that gate. But what happened in that process is, I started getting low percentages in the BTech. Okay, of course, if you go to any engineering college, their main objective is to get you through this JNT exams and provide you good knowledge, right? Than the more concept they will provide than the analysis. A little bit variation is there between gate approach and JNT approach. So that's what was going on. And second year, third year, percentages were a bit low. Like I mean, not so much lower than 60%. It is around 70-80%. Then in the fourth year, I have joined this Made Easy for IES preparation. Uh, so from 9 to 3:40 or 3:50 in the evening, it was our college, CMRTC. After that, I used to go to Koti and attend the classes. Here, if some of you are interested in preparing for GATE or IES, There I can elaborate more. So it is a lengthy course, like around 6 to 8 months is there. Then every day 2 hours it used to be there. I think around 2 hours or 1.5 hour in the evening it used to be there. So here, if you are planning to go to such coaching, I'll say whatever I have done. So based on your feasibility, you can adapt it. Okay. Then we joined there. Regularly I used to attend classes. The first and foremost thing is try to capture the front rows as much as possible. Because if you take ASR, IES, generally the number of students are huge, and especially when you sit at the back, it uh, it would be sometimes it may be difficult for you to concentrate. So if you sit in the front, you can concentrate. Even it is much more easier for you to ask the doubts. Right? So yeah, that is the first part. And the second part is you take any coaching system, not only engineering college or school or any coaching system, there will be some really good faculties for some subjects, but for some subjects, they may not be so good. So, if, whatever they may be, try to concentrate. Instead of judging them, we should try to make use of that 1.5 hour or 2 hours. If you don't concentrate, we are not achieving anything good in those 2 hours. Even if you are not attending, still we are not achieving anything good. Okay. So even if the faculty is good or not so good, try to concentrate. We will get something from that. That is fine. Now, as a student, how to take the notes in the GATE class? I used to use 4 color pens: blue color, black color, red color, and green color. Initially, it looks quite tedious, quite difficult, but once you get through for like 1 week or 10 days, that is the best thing you are doing to your career. How this is beneficial, I'll be coming there. So black color mostly I used to write for headings, blue color for descriptions, and red color and green color for highlighting important concepts. So this procedure we have followed for all the subjects. Even some of the faculties used to write with 4 color sketch pens, 4 color sketch pens. Okay. So as a faculty, if they are putting effort, as a student, we should put more effort, right? So yeah, then yeah, this is why we started writing the notes. Again, initially it becomes very difficult to switch between the pens, as the faculties are quite experienced and there is quite quick. Okay, so first thing is take the notes that way, fully concentrate, never miss the understand. If you face any difficulty, feel free to stop there, stop the faculty and ask it. Don't hesitate, because sometimes in a group of 120 people or 200 people, we generally hesitate. Like, what if my doubt is so lame? We all have those kind of inhibitions. So don't get into that, because we are going there because we don't know. We want to learn. That is our purpose, right? So without any hesitation, just ask anything. Sometimes people may laugh, just ignore them. So the first way to achieve the success is stop caring about your neighbor's comment. That is the first one I would suggest you. Then, yeah. Now I'll tell the benefit of this using different color pens. When you do the revision, okay, this when you highlighted some important things with red color and green color, these are visually quite standing out, right? So it helps you to easily go through the whole subject. Let us take you have completed the subject, and within 2 days you can revise the whole subject. Okay, that's how it benefits. And in out of, let us take, you are considering 10 months of preparation for GATE. Let us take 8 months is for your learning. Then at least try to allocate 1.5 months to 2 months for revision. Okay. How this process should begin is, let me start from the beginning. Daily you're attending classes, right? You're taking the notes. After coming to the home, just revise it. In the night time or before going to the next class, revise it. Okay. So you see it as a topic by topic. Take a topic, as any institute covers the syllabus by concept basis. Take any concept, try to understand it fully. Then when you go to the next topic, you can consider them as chapters. So when you move to the next chapter, try to before going to this chapter, try to fully understand this chapter. Then you will see there is a requirement of some more concept which will be covered in the next chapter. We move there. Again, in the second chapter, try to cover concept by concept, that is subsection by subsection. Again, you fully understand this chapter 2. Now, fully understand chapter 1 and chapter 2 combined. Then there is a requirement of some more concepts to solve certain problems. Then move to chapter 3. So in this way, keep on connecting to the earlier chapters. Don't see them isolatedly. Okay, in isolation, don't see them. So in this way, by the time you move the last chapter, the 8th chapter maybe, so when you move there, by the time you should understand what is the purpose of the 8th chapter. By this connection, you can understand for which problems you can go to which topic, which concept. That helps you. Fine. So this is during the normal learning procedure for 6 to 8 months. And when you come to the remaining 2 months, that is for revision, never ever neglect. You take any ranker or anyone who succeeded. Okay. So all of them went through this revision. There would be no candidate who got success without revision. Revision is a crucial part. Why? The revision gives a feel of completeness. Once you revise a subject, you are fully confident that okay, this subject is complete. And from the revision, you can feel where are the drawbacks and what are the points of improvement. Okay. So the same procedure you can focus. And you know very well, like as there are 7 to 8 subjects, without revision, it is like swimming the ocean without any direction. Right? Then the preparation is done. Then again, we need to come back to CMRTC. In the 4th year, as usual, it is the dream of every undergrad, that is to get the placement, right? So in that aspect, I should say CMRTC has done good. So they used to provide us coaching, like English classes, GDs, group discussion, and some quants and reasoning. They recruited specialized faculties for that. The placement cell, they have given us this coaching that helped us, in fact, because that looks completely different from our undergrad courses. In undergrad courses, we were learning everything conceptual. We love in my case, we love our EC, we love communication, we love signal processing, right? But when it comes to the job, it is like quants, analytical reasoning. It is quite different. It is like a new world. So again, here I should say the coaching I took in IES, uh, that also helped here. Then, in fact, the coaching was, the faculties recruited by CMRTs were quite good. And when we were giving mock tests also towards the job trials, at that time they provide a scope to improve. They used to provide the analysis. They have some software. I don't remember, some Alma something software is there. Through that we get to know our progress in the analytical front. Then that's why after, of course, I got the placement offer in Varchasa. Still, after I wrote GATE, and when I got the rank of 2,995, it's not so great. 2,900 something is not so great, but that was fine. Then I applied to IIT Guwahati. There they have dual degree program, which is useful for all the department people except for CSC and IT. If you're from the background of CSC, non-CSC and IT, you can take this opportunity. There is a dual degree program in IIT Guwahati. I am saying it is the best that you can get in the world IITs. So what it does, from the based on GATE score, they shortlist the people, and after that we need to go there, write a written test, and clear the interview. Then we are considered. Then we will get the opportunity to obtain our master's degree as well as PhD degree. Okay. So in my case, at that time in 2013, they shortlisted I think around 150 applications. After that, they conducted the written test. So written test is the fundamental basics of C programming, arrays, those concepts. And some of the overlap is there, right? From CS and DCE, that is digital electronics. that is an overlap. So they try to test these concepts. And in my case, I think after written test, they shortlisted around 15 people, out of which they conducted the interviews. From that, they selected 4 people. So fortunately, I was part of that. Then the journey began in IIT. So yeah, even in the IIT, we were learning the basic courses on par with undergrads who cleared IIT JEE. So for 1.5 year, it was a coursework. Like we became ourselves familiar with the concepts, computer science concepts. Then we need to choose our research topic. Again, if some of you are interested in research topic, most of you might be knowing currently the machine learning and machine learning related application. When I say machine learning, it also includes deep learning, which is the trend now. So yeah, if you take any application related to these concepts, then you're in a good position. Okay. Then after that, remaining story is normal, like daily learning part. Throughout my 6.5 years at IIT Guwahati, it was a fully learning part. Then I recently submitted my thesis in January 25th. After that, I joined in BITS Pilani as a faculty. Now I get to see what my faculties went through. Right? As a student, it is always a happy learning. We are in a pole position. We are sitting on the bench, we can ask anything, right? But as a faculty, it is a completely different story. Sometimes you need to maintain the decorum. So, yeah. Especially I can recollect that after my BTech first year, when we entered into second year, at that time, most of the courses were taken by only 2 faculties. That is Srikanth sir and Tarasai sir. We were like, I mean, some of us were like, what is happening? We are only seeing 2 faces for the whole day. So even some people complained also. But now when I look at back that, it's like, how did they manage so many subjects? Yeah, I mean, now I'm feeling like to handle one subject itself, a lot of preparation goes behind. But I don't know how they manage multiple subjects. So, yeah, it's a kind of respect increased for our faculties. Then in the CMRTC, the memories are like, especially in first year, the Kasi sir is my first guru for English, and Tara Sai sir. At the time, I don't even know what is publication, what is research. So he took us to one of the conference, and of course, most of the work was done by sir, Tara Sai sir. Uh, he gave the first glimpse of presentation, research paper presentation. Who else? Suhasini ma'am in the first year. I don't know how many of these faculties are there now, but Suhasini ma'am used to be quite supportive. And Krishna sir, I think he used to teach M1. He's quite good. Yes, sir. Then recently, I think after that we moved to third year, so on. Then we get to see Kranti Ratan sir, Sravanti ma'am, Arvind Warrior sir, then Dilshad ma'am, and some other faculties. I'm able to visualize them, but I'm unable to recollect their names. But they were quite young and energetic, quite supportive. And yeah, from there the journey completed till here. In case if you have any doubt, you can ask me, or if you want me to elaborate on any part, I'm ready. Okay. So yeah, if you want to learn more about IIT environment or IIT culture, that is also fine. Or the preparation, get more about grade preparation, that is also fine. I'm ready to explain. And any other thing, feel free. Don't hesitate. Oh, thank you, sir. Anyone? Is there any kind of interactive part we need to enable?
No, you can see the questions in the chat box,
Ma'am, okay.
but I find none of as of now.
Okay, I'll wait for some more time.
Uh,
Uh,
you can tell anything about how you have prepared, for how many hours you used to prepare for GATE,
yeah.
and
So
how different it was from the concepts that has been learned in the college, theoretical, and the approach towards GATE, how it was different.
so yeah. Again, wherever if someone succeeds in IIT JEE or someone succeeds in GATE, generally the typical question asked is how many hours you studied, right? So here it is a tricky part. Like number of hours never determine our success. It's only about how much we were concentrating during that period. So in my case, as my coaching used to end by 8:30 in the evening, then take dinner around it will take 10 p.m. Other refreshment it will come up to 10:30. Most of the time I used to study in the night time, up to late night, like up to 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. At that time, generally, even in Hyderabad, the environment is so peaceful, and it helped me to focus more on my studies. Okay, so let even if you're concentrating 2 hours per day, concentrate it with full focus. No mobile, no internet, no disturbance, nothing. So only focus on studies. After that, just put everything aside, then enjoy whatever we want to. In my case, I think 2 hour preparation was, I mean, that much only I could manage, 2 to 3 hours, but it was regular. And now when we have to compare the GATE preparation and the normal engineering studies, the engineering studies are typically concept oriented. Our faculties focus more on the uh, discussion and discussion of the concepts, right? And we saw less problems in the classes. Whereas in GATE front, it's more analytical, more kind of problems we need to solve. And again, I'm saying, even in the preparation, it's not about how many problems we are solving. It's about how many different kinds of problems we are solving. That matters a lot. Okay, so we should always keep that in mind. Solve at least 2 to 3 problems, which are different kinds. And the more we practice, the more faster we become, which is essential for the competitive exams. So, so yeah, we just need to increase our speed through different I mean multiple problem solving, and the kind of problems we solve we should take care. And the better suggested way is refer to the previous years papers. So they give us some kind of intuition, what kind of problems can be, I mean, what kind of problems we can expect in the gate. Of course, the numbers and values may be different, but the pattern would be similar. So yeah, and the number of hours is up to you. How much you can allocate? If you are willing to allocate only 2 hours, maybe you can plan up to 8 months preparation. Okay. Otherwise, if you're willing, if you can increase the hours, then you can reduce the number of months, like that. And huh, that much, pretty much. Anyone?
Okay, tell something about the IIT culture, how it is different from the normal engineering colleges,
Mm.
and any problems that you have faced.
So initially, I mean, honestly, after getting into IIT, I felt that can I survive here? That was my first question to myself. Because the moment we hear IIT, we think that they are super minds, they are super genius like that. I went through that emotional things like, can I survive? Can I compete with these people? In fact, my first semester was not so great. I think I got only 7 CPA out of 10. Like, because we are competing with the people who cleared JEE. That was it. Then I thought, no, no, this is not the way. We should not give so much importance to the surroundings. Again, we need to lay down a procedure for our preparation. Again, back to the same basic routine. Attend the classes with full focus. Come back to room. Again, revise everything. And the difficult part here is we don't have any specific textbooks. Like, they don't say from you study this book and based on this we will give the problem. It's not that way. In IIT system, the professor may teach any concept. He may be bringing it from any research paper, any of the numerous textbooks available. Okay. And as a student, what was our learn the concept and prepare different problems associated with it. So yeah, the more divergent options were available. And first and foremost thing is concentrate in the class. That was the thing. And then slowly we picked up, we understood the pattern. Like again, whatever we learned, those habits we need to de-learn and inculcate the new learning methods. At the time, we evolved, I can say that we evolved as the analytical minds. And again, the paper is, we don't even know from where the questions are coming in that in that IIT normal courses. And most of the time we don't even find previous year papers. So everything is like a new. It is everything like adventure. It was so much exciting, honestly. Uh, and as a culture, definitely we have some kind of inhibitions, and especially when we come from with the background something like CMR Technical Campus, there it was more like a kind of a school, I should say, like very disciplined. I mean, but whereas in IIT Guwahati, we should be self-dependent. No one asks us if you are not studying. No one asks us if you are not coming to the class. No one asks us. It is up to us whether we want to learn or we want to enjoy. So that was the thing. The self-discipline I have learned there. Then opportunities, there are numerous opportunities. Like as a clubs, learning domains, there are many. So yeah, we can be part of that. Otherwise, most of the time the faculties take away our time, even IIT. So yeah, anyone?
Hi Sandeep, I am Ratan. Ratan sir, how are you?
Hi sir. How are you, sir?
Fine, Amma. Tell about the job scope also. By doing MTech or all those PhDs, what will be the job source and where are the ways they can go? Okay.
Sir. Sure. So yeah. Uh, yeah. Regarding the job perspective, especially in the BTech, like in our campus, you know that most of the companies that are visiting are software oriented. Right? Even we may be from civil background or mechanical background, mostly the companies are CS. Of course, this is not with CMRTC, it is the same case with IITs also. Even if you come to IIT Guwahati, the predominant number of companies are from software. Okay. So job wise, I think nowadays it is highly recommended that we go through this kind of analytical approach and prepare for something like GATE or IES, predominantly GATE. I think a couple of years back they were recruiting based on GATE score in our own domain, like Indian Oil, some BHEL. They were recruiting based on the GATE score. That is at the undergrad level. After completing undergrad, we can get into that. For all of you in the undergrad, I would suggest you to take the GATE exam. You may be interested in GRE, you may be interested in MS, but give a try. If you have some kind of approach, some kind of chance to analyze your understanding of undergrad concepts, it's good, right? If you get good score, even if you're not joining, that's fine. If you're not getting good score, then it gives you an opportunity to prepare well. Okay, this is fine. Now after that, when you go for masters, especially in good engineering colleges like IITs and NITs, then they provide you better opportunities. There is a better chance of getting your core companies. Sometimes we may complain, right? I did my undergrad in civil, mechanical, such kind of companies are not coming here. We complain. The scenario is almost similar everywhere. So better to get into some better reputed colleges. So yeah, that is for masters. When you go to PhD, again, it is hugely dependent on the area. Even in computers, I did my PhD in computer science. So even in computer science, it differs a lot from domain to domain. For theoretical computer science, they may not be getting so many industrial job opportunities. Whereas applied people, like someone doing computer vision, natural language processing, data science, machine learning, deep learning, or image processing, any of those persons, and speech processing, if you're doing any of these domains, then there are more opportunities. Okay. So if you're doing an applied domain, you can get into some R&D sections. Like TCS R&D section is there, and Google, Facebook, all of them, they're the potential recruiters. Okay. Again, based on your industry, and based on your stream, and based on your interest, you should select the domain. Sometimes what happens is, generally if you're planning to do a PhD, and when you approach a professor, definitely he would be asking, why are you interested in PhD? On what topic you're interested in PhD? And why that topic? These questions, we should prepare ourselves for these questions. Okay, what is your interest? Be clear on that. And if you do some kind of background check, nowadays through Google you can get anything. Like by reading some research papers or by reading some textbooks, if you get some little bit knowledge, then you are in a better position to interact with the professor. So interact with him. And again, in PhD, not only the domain, the person, the professor under which you will be working, it matters a lot. So take care of all these factors, especially if someone is interested in PhD. I would strongly suggest focus on the topic and focus on the nature of the professor. Try to inquire that, especially through his current students or his previous student. Inquire about the professor, then approach him. Right? Okay.
Yeah, any questions from the audience?
Don't hesitate. I mean, it can be any kind of question.
They are in the same situation as of in a class.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, tell us which subjects has helped you in getting a good score in GATE.
Okay. I think I was quite liking the digital electronics, and these electric circuits. Those were like these electric circuit subject. Even I before the subject started, I read in summer holidays. I like the subject a lot. I used to study on by my own. So it's so interesting, right? So from one node to the another node current is passing. In between, there are some disturbances like inductor, capacitor. It was so interesting subject. And digital electronics, the moment someone says, okay, whatever the computer you're using, it is made up of chips, and in these chips there are something called transistor and diodes. So the moment someone motivates us through this approach, and we are like, okay, now I am able to learn something that is working in front of me. So that motivation helped me to learn the subject, which further helped me to get the good score. But again, still I feel that I should have done better in GATE, much better in GATE.
Okay, share any interview experiences. So you said that you were placed in Virtusa.
Huh.
So do you remember that, or
Yes.
it's a long back memory?
Yeah. So, yeah. Here is this is a very important part. Generally, I mean, especially from the kind of background we come, we tend to be more of emotional. In the interviews, the companies don't look for emotional candidates; they look for logical candidates. So always keep this in mind. I think even in mock tests, or I don't know whichever of them, whether it is mock test or the proper interview, they ask something like some that corresponding person will ask you, let us take your sister eloped with me. What would you do? They are such kind of questions. At that time, we should don't get emotional like, okay, I'll beat you, I'll give police complaint on you. We should not say like that. Maybe we should assume that he is unmarried and say that, okay, sir, I don't think I can get a better match than you. She would be in a better position. She would be in a better position with you. Or you can say that I am confident on my sister and she picked you. It means there is some worthy in you. So I go with my sister's choice. Something like that. It's more of a logical approach, right? And still, I remember something like they were asking some questions to girls like, okay, suddenly one day you woke up and you found that you're pregnant. What would you do? Immediately, typical our thinking is like, we are unmarried and I'm pregnant. He's saying, what is he saying? We should not shout on him. The scenario is like we should assume that you are already married and you found out that you are pregnant. Then you should answer that something like, I'll convey this happy news to my husband and my family. So more of a logical, how innovative you can be than being emotional. So I think in final round, I think HR round, I faced some question like this, like if your sister done or your sister and me ran away, then what will you do? So they asked this kind of question. Then I hope they liked my answer. It's quite simple. Of course, as an organization, no organization wants its performance to be influenced by people's emotions, right? Your logical thinking, that's what is required for problem solving. So your logical thinking is what they check in any HR round or normal preliminary rounds. Even in group discussion, it's like most of the time as we are not so experienced in handling GD. What we tend to do is when someone gives a group discussion topic, we formulate our own concepts, and the moment when the 2 3 people told, and we try to say our own point, but it is fine. But better thing is connect our point with the other person's point. Like how do we disagree, or how do we agree with them, and how their point enhances by saying our own point. It should be a connected discussion. It should not be like a isolated discussion. Like everyone is throwing their point. Okay, this is definitely they will observe. And even in this thing, the innovativeness which we are bringing, okay, that we should take care.
Yeah, any more questions?
Hello. Hello, Sandeep.
Hi sir, how are you sir?
Fine, Sandeep. Please tell the students how to prepare for new technologies. What you have highlighted, like deep learning, machine learning, artificial intelligence. Is there any courses or else they need to prepare from the YouTube channels? Anything which you have felt in your studies, in your duration? Please suggest them, because most of the students ask the questions to me. I don't know how come they are not asking to their senior. Please elaborate this topic very cleanly. You may take for 5 minutes for this topic from the beginning till the end, how they can achieve it.
Sir,
Okay,
sir,
sir. Over
yes,
to
sir.
you.
Sir. So yeah, first thing is generally, I mean, if you don't have any specific interest, what would be our approach? We think which which topic is in the boom now, which topic, if I learn, would give me high paying job. That's what is our thinking, right? At that time, we Google. From the Google, we can easily get the highest paying jobs, the average salary of current hot topics, current hot positions. You will get that. From the job, we can go to requirements. What are the topics they expect? So currently, I can say deep learning is the boom, is in boom, and the moment we learn the requirement. Of course, we should start from the scratch, right? For this learning, first thing we need to Google it immediately. most of the time the course would be offered by, it would be available either in Coursera, MIT Open Course, our own Desi version, that is NPTEL, and different other domains are there. Go there. Most of the time they offer the courses for free. Sometimes if it is highly specialized one, they charge it for mandatory. Otherwise, for basic version, at least for basic version, even if they don't give any certificate, for learning purpose they will offer you for free. Just enroll in it, learn it, and they be sincere. We should be very sincere. And what people does is they enroll in it, after 1 week or 2 weeks they don't put so much effort. So I suggest you to enroll it, solve all the problems. In between the classes, in between the video lecture also, they will be asking questions. Try to answer them honestly. And after the class, they will be providing the assignments. Try to solve all of them. This is one approach. Other approach is to go to the textbooks. Whenever there is a topic, especially if we are focusing deep learning, the pioneers of the deep learning, that Yoshua Bengio, the authors have written a specialized book. If someone done so much research in that area and wrote a book, it would be the easiest one to understand. Even I'm saying, if you directly open this deep learning book, you can see that it is so easy to understand, so trivially they write. But of course there will be a lot of background we need to check. So read the textbook. First thing is go to the video based lectures, that would be easier for us to follow. After that, go to the textbooks. Nowadays every textbook is associated with a dedicated website. So go to that particular website. Even this deep learning textbook has a dedicated website. Go there, see the concepts. Especially if there are some mistakes in the textbooks, they will highlight in that website. Okay, go there and try to solve the exercises. If you have any doubt, they will provide you the email address. Don't hesitate, just write. Always, most of the time if we have those inhibitions, what if my doubt is trivial, or what if they feel that this person do not know anything. Don't think it that way. And don't even think that what if they don't even like my email, whatever the content I wrote in the email. Don't think that way. Okay, so without any, the best thing is make a move. Whether it is good or bad, don't even hesitate about it. Right? And yeah, these are the resources that we need to learn. And other thing is, go to scholar.google.com and search the topic. You will get many research papers. Especially if some textbooks are ambiguous, the original source, the person's book proposed those methods. Those papers would be available in scholar.google.com. Some of the papers would be for free. Some of them we need to have memberships like ACM membership, IEEE membership. I think it costs only 1,000 rupees per year. Yeah.
Nice, Sandeep. It was a nice brief. And talk about the importance of the membership for the students.
Awesome. Sure.
Yeah.
So this predominantly there are two memberships that we require, ACM and IEEE. As we are from developing country, India, there would be some concession. I think the current charge is around 1,000 rupees for both of them, approximately here and there. So what this gives the flexibility is, you just take the ACM membership, for example, go to the ACM website, that acm.org website, and see there. You would be surprised the courses which are not available outside, even on Coursera or some universities, they would be available there. There are video lectures. Most of you might not have seen that. There will be video lectures, and they are based on the recent trends in the research. Okay. So explore their archive. The research papers you can Google. Of course, that is the first benefit, that we can just search any research paper, we can download it. And it is a huge resource. Apart from that, these lectures are there. Different concepts, textbooks, some textbooks we can access for free. And even in IEEE, I strongly suggest that you take IEEE membership and try to explore their archive. What are the different papers available, their resources are available, and kind of conferences they organize, and what is their reputation, what is their acceptance rate, how much, I mean, what are the topics associated with the particular conference, or what are the topics associated with the journal. These kind of elaborations we do, that especially helps when we are planning to do something like PhD. Even for masters, as I can say an example, by the time I think 2025 or 2021, there is a requirement of at least 39 percentage of the people who have masters and PhD degree in data science. So there is huge demand. If we want to evolve into that stage, definitely we need to take care of all these resources. Yeah, of course, we spend a lot of money here and there, right, for snacks here and there. 1,000 rupees per year, it's not so much, definitely. Anyone?
Thank you, Sandeep. It was nice description about the technology as well as membership. Even I to accept with you regarding the memberships, which is very much important. Even I am also a part of ACM. Even I enjoy the benefits of it. What you have discussed, it is truly acceptable. Even for IEEE also, we do have so many benefits. But people ran behind to hide the money. I don't know. Even it is commonly happen in the month. It cost around 1,000 rupees with known or unknownly. If they spend for this membership, it would be really very useful for them for a long run.
So, definitely.
Yeah. Yes, friends, if you have any questions, you can ask to Sandeep. Uh, the session is open for questionnaires. Sandeep, right now, are you in home or else are you in college?
Yes, sir, I'm in my office. Bits
Okay, bits fan. Okay, so nice. Even faculty can ask some questions. Now, not only for a student. There are so many faculties here. Please, you can ask few questions to him.
Sir. Yes, sir. All of you don't test it, sir. So I'm just like a student.
Yeah. Regarding Sandeep, I have seen him in 2010. The first class I went to teach him for signals and systems and probability for the first sem. And seriously, he was so talented and so ground to earth person. He doesn't talk much, but his works make sound. And he was the topper of our college, CMR Technical Campus. And there was a lot of competition in his class. I still remember the names like Sandeep, Sneha, Vasavi, and there are few more people who run for it. Even Kirti, Lakshmi Kirti, yeah, roll number 37. Sandeep's number was 58. If I'm
Oh my
correct.
God. Yes, you remember, sir. That's
Yeah,
nice.
yeah, yeah.
I
Even
don't. Sir,
yeah,
please
tell
proceed,
me,
sir.
Sandeep. Go ahead, go ahead.
Only I think in the initial part, I think in the first year, I think I was topper. I think after a couple of semesters, it was taken over by all those toppers, whatever you mentioned.
No issue, Sandeep. But you have created a path for all, seriously. And
Thanks.
the work, the whatever assignments we used to give, Sandeep is the first person who used to submit. And even there are few more girls. Even the good thing among that 2009 batch students were, they used to hide everything, and they never used to talk in the public. Like they come personally and they say, "Sir, I have done this assignment." And they used to hide, and it was so energetic class, which I have started my career in CMRTC. Seriously, they have encouraged me, and also Srikanth sir also. we both used to go to the class daily, morning 2 periods. Morning, if it is 4 periods, 2 periods me and 2 periods Srikanth sir. Then they will go for some other classes like max faculty used to come. And even they have given complaint that sir, we are seeing. I still remember his name is Chandrasekhar as a CR. Sir, we are seeing only two faculties daily. We are very confusing. That time, what we have done is, me and Srikanth sir, what we planned is, first 3 days we will discuss this subject. Next 3 days we will discuss next subject. Like I used to teach Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday SS. Thursday, Friday, Saturday I used to teach PTSD for them. Even it is applicable for Srikanth sir also. And I used to take BS lab and Srikanth sir used to take ECA lab. We used to manage ourselves. Even we used to get bored by seeing all the faces. It is bi-directional class. At the next third year, we felt happy that all the students are also happy. They got so many faculties. This is what I experienced with the Sandeep. So nice, Sandeep.
Thank you, sir.
Nice to see even Krantiratan sir is also happy because we three were there at the time.
Yes, yes.
Kranti sir has more practical approach.
Yeah.
In fact, the probability distribution function, probability density function, or cumulative distribution function, whatever we learned in the PDSP, we are still using that, sir.
Because it is a fundamental for all the systems.
So recently I have concluded a course. Yesterday only I concluded a summer course, which is called Foundations of Data Science. In that thing, I think first couple of classes I have covered these concepts only, like PDF and CDF. Nice.
I hope you have still remembered that shortcuts. Small f of x, capital F of x.
Integration, differentiation,
yeah,
relation.
yeah. Nice.
Any other queries? Anyone?
I don't find any queries.
That's fine. So,
Okay.
okay, ma'am.
Sai sir, shall we conclude?
Yes, madam, you can conclude.
Okay. So that was really nice and happy to see you, Sandeep. It was a great session from your side. You had been given an insight about how to crack GATE and what were the questions that you faced in your HR interviews and the attitude that people should have. So it is better to have a logical attitude than an emotional one. So that was a good hint for the students. And also the importance of the membership of ACM and IEEE. That's all really nice to hear from you. And we already have some IEEE membership and some IEEE student chapter also, which is being headed by Sai sir.
Oh, nice.
Yes. And we are taking up some activities also from the IEEE student branch. So that was an update from our college side. And you can see that there is a lot of change in our college and the faculty members and all. So used to have only two faculty. Now I think we have 45 faculty in our department.
Oh, that's
Yes,
better than current.
yes.
So, but I should say thank you, ma'am. I should say thank you for reaching out to me and helping me to connect back again.
Yeah, actually, we are also very happy to see you. You were so studious, so calm in the class, and whatever has been taught in the class, you just used to write down the things very sincerely. And I think your sincere efforts have made you reach this stage. Thank you very much, Sandeep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, thank you, everyone. Bye.